You try going to bed a bit earlier only to find that it will take you 1 hour to eventually fall asleep. Or your body thinks you're flying across time zones when in reality you're just watching a Netflix show on a Friday night. Are we quietly wrecking our biology? So today I'll go through all the things you can do for your health to support yourself while trying to respond to a demanding schedule. But first, let's dive into the mechanism behind this vicious cycle that's fueling the sleep pandemic. Let's decode daily drowsiness. So drowsiness or sleep inertia happens for two main reasons, commonly in people who don't suffer from any hormonal diseases, for example. And these two reasons are, first, the fact that you might be getting too little deep sleep, although you seemingly get enough general sleep, or you get abruptly interrupted from your deep sleep phase and awakened into reality. Sadly, enough sleep isn't always restful, and that is because of a sleep quality gap, which is a term that describes the gap or discrepancy that is created when you think you got 10 hours of sleep and yet the restorative value of those hours is low, which could imply that the actual architecture of your sleep is not good. By architecture, I mean the different phases of sleep you're going to go into and the amount of time you stay in each phase. And of course, as you might have guessed, we're talking about the circadian rhythm disruption here. As if that weren't enough, many of us also don't get enough sleep during work days, which creates a sleep debt, and we try to make up for that whenever we can. But this common practice of catching up on sleep is largely misleading and does not fully counteract the effects of chronic sleep loss and even just sleep loss. So now you have the cumulative impact of sleep debt and poor sleep quality because of a messed up circadian rhythm. And these two things together are not merely additive, they're synergistic. If the sleep you're trying to obtain as an attempt to repay for the debt is also poor quality, then the process of restoration is severely compromised. As a result, we constantly deepen this cycle of fatigue. To fall asleep, your body doesn't just power down, it actually has to coordinate a whole biological symphony. Your heart rate and blood pressure need to slow down, your core body temperature needs to drop, your stress hormones like cortisol need to be stepping back so that your system can finally rest. Your gut will process food in a different way and brainwave patterns will shift during the night. It's just so many things that need to be regulated in the right order at the right time every single night. That's a lot to regulate. This biological symphony is the circadian rhythm, and the conductor behind it all is a small physical structure in the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN for short. The SCN is a tiny group of brain cells located at the hypothalamus, just above the crossing of the two optic nerves, and that location is not random. It gives the SCN immediate access to light information, which is how it aligns your body processes to the actual 24-hour day. That's why light is a protagonist, although other external cues are also very important, like meals and temperature, social interactions and physical activity, and so on and so forth. Now, if you're staying up late and sleeping in the next, it's possible you experience what we call the social jet lag. The social jet lag is a mismatch between your biological time and the socially imposed schedule, which happens to night owls a lot, who need to go maybe to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, which is not what they would naturally want to do. If that's true for you, then this forces your body to operate as if it's constantly shifting between time zones. People who work on shifts experience that at an even greater scale. In fact, chronic disruption of circadian rhythm is classified as a probable carcinogen. How can you reclaim your nights? At the core of the problem, and if you want to go natural, you'd need to stick to regular bedtimes and wake times, expose yourself to bright sunlight in the morning after you wake up. If possible, try to avoid blue light in the evening or at night, and I like to take a warm shower before going to bed. That helps me relax. These things are enough to help you stabilize your circadian rhythm. Or you can take the astronaut approach and strategically use artificial light exposure or blocking. Astronauts experience 16 sunrises a day. That's why the International Space Station is equipped with specialized lighting systems that change in color spectrum and intensity throughout the day to match the 24-hour cycle. If that sounds like you, then on top of your good habits, you could also take advantage of a few pieces of equipment, such as the artificial light lamp, which you could use every morning for 15 to 30 minutes and expose yourself to bright light. Especially good for countries where sunlight is limited. Another thing you can try is the sublingual melatonin spray if advised by a professional. A dose as low as 0.3 milligrams has been shown to work. And last, the blue light blocking glasses, which are the orange glasses that you can wear when the time for bed approaches, and that will enable you to use your devices until later in the night. So if you have to work and let's say wake up at 5 and that's very difficult for you, you can use the tools we just mentioned to shift your circadian rhythm to the target schedule. This is a well-established technique called chronotherapy. Chrono is the word chronos in Greek, which means time, and therapy is the Greek word therapia, which means healing or something like that. How does it actually work? Shift bedtime and wake time by 15 to 30 minutes until you start to feel that this is natural. And once you do, which should take around 3 days from a study I read, then do it again until you reach your target schedule. And if you track your sleep, then you can make all of these adjustments a little bit more precisely. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe and follow for more. I make videos that are scientifically backed and focus on health. Bye!